So last week I was in a church. I normally visit the church on a Sunday, and I taken a break from my Buddhism group where in people pray for anybody and everybody across the world and stuff. It's a spiritual practice. You don't have to discontinue following whatever faith you're in. You don't have to stop listening to your favorite bhajan kirtans or whatever. You don't have to stop listening to your English prayers and stuff and all that. The point is you have to pray for anybody and everybody and stuff, so that goodness prevails. And like I usually share this, and I'm still sharing. The good wolf has to take over the bad wolf. Okay. So the point is, when I was in the church on last Sunday, there was a beautiful lesson shared by a gentleman. He was reading the Bible, and he said a lot of people feel lost. A lot of people feel disconnected. A lot of people feel they don't have friends. A lot of people feel that they are worthless. Self-esteem is low, confidence is low. Probably they've grown old. They're not able to find a job. They don't have money. They don't have good relationships. Not everybody is blessed by God. But the point is, I partly think that I partly or I firmly believe that you make your own destiny and stuff and all that. But the point is, prayers do have a role to play and stuff, and prayers work, miracles happen, blessings take place. So they shared this in the church that when you're kind of not feeling that good and stuff, walk into the house of God and let the good kind of get absorbed in you. So what happens is that when we are not feeling good, when you're in a weak moment, when you're not feeling that amazing and stuff, we find friends. Sometimes they're not that great. Sometimes we fall into bad company. We allow our weaknesses to come over. We talk ill about people. We talk bad about the world. We are harboring negative emotions about the world and stuff. People use terms like jealousy, insecurity, anger, and all that. Yeah, there are emotions like this and stuff. But the point is, there are a lot of positive emotions as well. And if you were to step out from your immediate system of belief and everything and go into a church, you have a life which is expansive. You're praying differently, you're thinking differently. Your conditioning changes because you got so used to being with certain people at work or in relationships that the way they look at life is what you start believing the way it is all about and stuff. So if you have to change that, you have to have good thoughts and good ideas and good kind of being fed into your mind. How does that happen? So if you're in a circle which is forever abusing, forever finding fault, criticizing, is always talking about the negative, there's always talk about only people, it's only people oriented and stuff, it doesn't help. So if you have to rise above that, you have to kind of go on the path of excellence. You have to kind of accept God, and you have to get the spiritual thing happening for you and stuff. So the author says that when you're in an atmosphere of warmth and goodwill, mediocre kind of transforms into resilience, and drudgery changes to revelry. You begin to enjoy what you do. The outcome is happiness. Happiness grows as you learn to rejoice with others. You celebrate victories of theirs beyond yours as well. And gradually, the selfish desires of just doing work for yourself fades away, which is generally replaced by concern for others and for the well-being of everybody around you. So you grow or you elevate spiritually, right? So we are a matter of spirit. Matter comprises the body, mind, and intellect. Spirit is a life-giving force that enlivens them, and the scriptures and the music and the books that we read declare that we are not just the body, mind, or intellect, but we are the spirit. So this is the crux of it. We are a spirit. It's a spirit that matters. Even when you have a health concern or you have something major happening in your life, they say keep praying and stuff, but the person will recover. But at the end of it, it's the spirit of the person. So it's the spirit which takes you forward and stuff. So very important to expand the circle of love and your own thinking and stuff, to step into positive environments, positive spaces, not look down on other religions. You got to bond with other people and stuff, and stay flexible around it. And an example I'll give you is that I've grown differently, where my father's side of the family is from a different school of thought. My mother's side of the family is from a different school of thought. I've lived all across India. I've traveled. I've got friends all over the world. So it's been a little challenging and confusing for me also. What is good? What is wrong? What to follow? What not to follow? If I follow one, am I kind of doing away with the other part of it and stuff, so what is the middle path for me? What is a neutral thing for me? And at one point of time, I was like, okay, let me try and give a shot to some other school of spirituality and practice, which is Buddhism. So I prayed there. At first, I was not comfortable in the practice because I thought, my God, they keep talking only about the world and the issues and problems. And here I am, I've got a positive mindset and stuff, and I can only see what's wrong with the world and stuff. And to be honest, I stopped going for my practice and stuff till the time I met people of my own age group with similar challenges and stuff. And then I understood that it's a little bigger than that. It's not just about you yourself and your issues. It's a good community. It's a good school of thought because it curtails education, culture, sustainable goals for environment, climate, leadership, Nobel laureates and stuff, philosophy, and music and drama and community and stuff. And if somebody's in the hospital, they pray. So it's about faith over division and stuff. And now when I go to the church and everything, I find so much of my thoughts which I kind of pick up from my Indian and my Buddhism school of thought. I'm kind of adding those, and I'm absorbing some good, so that the good wolf is forever steady and not influenced by the bad wolf and stuff, right? So bad wolf and good wolf is within us. It's not about people. There are all kinds of people, but the point is, what do you choose? If somebody is choosing hate, if somebody is choosing disgust, dislike, jealousy, hatred, will you do that? Well, if you want to rise above that, you got to answer that question, and you got to join probably the bigger circle of life and stuff, and go towards love, care, warmth, humility, excellence, spirituality, and learning more and stuff, and keeping an open mind, which I find miss in a lot of people. Anyway, so expanding the circle of love, speaking tree, page number 24. If you can find that, you can read this. You're going to understand that, if it's not just about money, it's about discovering your passion, it's about a bigger world. And if you connect with people from all over the world, and you're involved in different practices, your world doesn't stay this. So you're not going to be feeling lonely, you're not going to be feeling sad. I mean, I don't get it. And, I keep questioning sometimes that how do people say that they're lonely? There's so much to do: TV, travel, culture, looking at places, eating out, jazz, reading, theater, friends, community work. There's so much to do besides your own work. So how do you feel lonely? And I didn't realize this that His Holiness Dalai Lama also shared this during Corona. I sit in Leh Ladakh and I sit in Dharamshala, and I've had the privilege of meeting him 2-3 times and stuff. And I still remember one thing he said. I'm in my 80s. I go for a walk. I watch less of TV. I do more of meditation and more of prayers. I spend my time reading. I spend my time not on the news and stuff. I spend my time on looking at solutions for the world and everything. I do a lot of self work and everything. And after all of that, I ask myself, where is the time and how do I feel lonely? You don't. So it's prayers are good, spirituality is a good part to be on and stuff. And by chance, if you feel isolated and stuff, probably you're spending too much of time on social media. Probably you're following the wrong path. Time being the real world and stuff. It's amazing to connect with people all over the world, but if you're in touch with them on a personal note, that makes sense in a bigger fashion and stuff. So the article is called "Expanding the Circle of Love," and it's beautiful because it's sparking joy. It's about happiness. It's about blessings. It's about prayers, and it's about the magic of life and stuff. So try reading this, and I'm sure you're going to love it. And cheers to you on a nice cup of refreshing coffee. So probably you can form your own coffee group, and you can probably, have some catching up meetings over coffee and stuff if you have this issue of not feeling so great about the world, and try and not talk negative and try and talk positive about the world and stuff, right? So love and luck and take care. I'm Justine Kapani on jkapani@gmail.com, justinekapani.im@gmail.com, and justinekapanioffice@gmail.com. Feel free to write in, feel to get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to reply. Take care, love and luck, bye bye.